Welcome back to Jay's Smokehouse and the History of Cannabis series, Marijuana in the 1900s, Part 3. Last episode we left off with Harry J. Anslinger denouncing marijuana and also reefer madness. Now reefer madness came out in 1936, and in just 1 year, in 1937, the U.S. government has hearings on the Marijuana Tax Act. This tax act was going to impose registration and reporting requirements on growers, sellers, and buyers of marijuana. In 1937, these hearings went from April 27th to May 4th. And even in those hearings on May 4th, the American Medical Association themselves testified on opposing the Marijuana Tax Act. They talked about how there were many possibilities for the medical applications of marijuana. And they also testified that we really didn't know enough to know if it was as harmful as the government was saying. And they even refused to use the word marijuana, citing that cannabis is the correct term, and using the term marijuana is actually trying to associate it with Mexican immigrants and to disassociate it with medication. On October 1st of 1937, the Marijuana Tax Act is enacted. But this was also just a federal law. By 1937, every state in America had some sort of restriction on marijuana. And after this tax act, the government still did use medical marijuana, but they imposed a lot more paperwork and taxes to be able to use it. So prescriptions of medical marijuana really declined because most doctors did not want to go through the extra red tape in order to get someone a prescription for marijuana. And it didn't take long for the first arrest to happen. In just 1 day, on October 2nd in 1937, in Denver, Colorado, the police made an arrest at a hotel. They arrested Samuel R. Caldwell. This man was 58, an unemployed laborer, and was just trying to make money on the side with the marijuana, because it wasn't illegal until just a day before. They arrested Caldwell and also a 26-year-old man named Moses BACA. BACA was there to buy from Caldwell. So Caldwell was arrested for the illegal selling of marijuana, and then BACA was arrested for the illegal possession of marijuana. Now here's where it gets really disgusting. They gave Caldwell 4 years of hard labor in Leavenworth Penitentiary. That's crazy, and also a $1,000 fine. BACA received 18 months of jail time just for the possession of the marijuana. And both men served every single day of their sentence. They did not get anything shaved off. And sadly, just 1 year after Caldwell was released from Leavenworth, he died. It really gets to me when I start to think about that, how disgusting that was. And in 1938, Canada itself bans the cultivation of marijuana. The reason that they did this was to discourage the personal use and personal growing of marijuana. They still allowed doctors to prescribe marijuana tinctures, but that was all. And apparently the government bureaucracy also discouraged any doctor from prescribing the marijuana tinctures. And in 1942, they removed cannabis from the pharmacopoeia. What a sad day. The reason they did this was to delegitimize the therapeutic value of marijuana. They didn't want people to see it as medication. They wanted to see it as an illicit drug. And in 1938, the mayor of New York City, FIORELLO LAGUARDIA, requests that the New York Academy of Medicine conduct an investigation on marijuana. This report that came out in 1944 was titled The Marijuana Problem in the City of New York, but it is commonly referred to as the LAGUARDIA report. This report found that most of the claims on marijuana were grossly exaggerated or just flat out lies. They also found that marijuana does not lead to cocaine, heroin, or morphine addiction. If you enjoyed this video or you learned anything at all, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. And also, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button if you'd like to stay up to date with videos coming out in the future. And now, as always, Jay is going to go smoke a J.